All right, let's discuss this further. We're joined by legal journalist Karyn Maughan. Karyn, thank you as always. This was a very long statement by the acting Chief Justice Raymond Zondo today. Summarise why he says the former spy boss doesn't deserve an opportunity basically to respond to the claims against him.
Well, essentially, Francis, he says that Arthur Fraser has failed to comply with the rules that govern a cross-examination application according to how the commission operates and does its functions. So in other words, as he pointed out, in the normal course of events, if I'm given a statement where I'm implicated, I then go and say, look, in paragraph 35, or whatever, Francis says XYZ about me, I dispute it, and here's my response. This is why I'm saying that she's wrong or she's not telling the truth. He did not do that in respect of any of the witnesses that he wanted to cross-examine. And Zondo actually read into the record some of the quite broad themes that he said he wanted to cross-examine these witnesses on without being very specific. The other problem, of course, is that, since July 2020, we had Arthur Fraser, through his advocate, Muzi Sekekani, coming out and saying, he was going to expose the secrets of presidents and judges and various other people, and then bringing this application for the declassification of 41 files, including on President Cyril Ramaphosa, that he said were essential to him being able to put forward evidence at the inquiry. But as Zondo points out today, when he was given the opportunity to access those files through a process by the SSA, he simply didn't take it. And up until this point, as far as I understand, Arthur Fraser has yet to put a single piece of sworn evidence under oath before the inquiry, giving his version of events. And this is why, effectively, Zondo has said not only did he fail to comply with the rules, but he's also failed to really take the commission into his confidence and put evidence on the table about what he says in relation to the very damaging claims that have been made against him.
Let's go back and please remind us about some of the big claims against Arthur Fraser made by witnesses at the Zondo Commission.
Well, essentially, the Zondo Commission took us into the high-level investigation that was done under President Cyril Ramaphosa at his behest, which really exposed manifest abuses of the state security agency, effectively to serve political ends, whether it was the special operations unit that was headed by former spy boss Thulani Dlomo, which did everything from, test the former President Zuma's food for poison, to allegedly try and discourage people from voting in favor of now President Ramaphosa in the ANC's elective conference, that there were efforts to infiltrate, the Fees Must Fall movement, efforts to infiltrate, organizations that were NGOs that were outspoken and critical of government. And of course, these aversions that, judges were in fact approached to essentially give rulings in favor of the former president. He, of course, was, linked to that principal agent network project that was exposed in Jacques Poe's book, where essentially the allegation was that he was running a parallel intelligence agency that was not, strictly speaking, within the bounds of normal intelligence operations, which is, of course, I understand something that he has defended and said is not correct. But there were a slew of allegations related to his leadership. And then, of course, the Inspector General of Intelligence, Dr. Dintwe, coming out both in the inquiry and in court processes and saying that Arthur Fraser, when he attempted, as Dintwe, to investigate those PAN allegations, took his clearance away, so that, his state security vetting away, so he couldn't do those investigations effectively. So there are a number of allegations spanning over quite some time, but essentially Arthur Fraser very much painted as a key part, alleged part of the state capture network, and the SSA as a kind of undercover force within government that was on the version of a number of these witnesses, used for very nefarious and clearly actions that were not in the national interest.
Karyn, very quickly, the fact is the commission time is ticking for this report to come out. I'm sure that Justice Zondo would have been wanting to finalise that document today. When will we see all of this evidence and the conclusions?
Well, the High Court has given the inquiry an extension till the end of December, so it's the end of this month. And he has until then, Zondo, to hand this report over to President Cyril Ramaphosa. I think there is an expectation, certainly from the decision that he gave today, that there may be some form of legal action either before or after that. But I think there are a number of people who are expecting that report may in fact face review when it is handed over. But certainly the deadline for that handover is the end of this month.
All right, thank you very much, legal journalist Karyn Maughan. And of course, we will follow the publication of the final report when all that evidence is summarised. But Arthur Fraser, the former spy boss, is not going to have a chance to cross-examine witnesses who testified against him.